Thabile Lewoka will no longer serve on President Cyril Ramaphosa's Presidential Economic Advisory Council. That's after her membership was terminated following allegations of her having misrepresented her qualifications. This comes as Lewoka resigned from her board positions at Anglo American Platinum and MTN SA. Both companies say the decision was as a result of health reasons and the need for her to clarify questions around her qualifications. Woolworths has warned of a profit hit. The retailer expects half-year headline earnings per share from continuing operations to be as much as 10% lower. That's partly due to shoppers pulling back on spending on clothes as they've had to deal with the impact of higher interest rates and elevated living costs. The firm says the snarl up at South Africa's ports also weighed on its apparel business as it was unable to timeously secure some summer product ranges. The group's results for the interim period are expected to be released on the 28th of February. Clicks has got its 2024 financial year off to a good start. For the 20 weeks to January the 14th, the group has reported a near 12% rise in retail turnover. That's thanks to strong festive season trading, with the firm achieving its highest ever daily sales on the 22nd of December, as shoppers are forked out for beauty and everyday essentials such as confectionery and cleaning products. But the company's UPD unit didn't perform as well. Total managed turnover there fell 6.3% during the period. CEO Bertina Engelbrecht has attributed this to the division's strategy to rationalize its bulk distribution portfolio to focus on profitable clients, and that led to the non-renewal of 2 contracts. But Engelbrecht is confident this strategy will benefit the firm in the long run. Given the performance of UPD and the retail division, group turnover increased 8%. Karoo has had a good third quarter. The owner of Cartrack has reported a 16% rise in total revenue. This was helped by a 14% jump in subscribers. CEO Zach Callisto says the results extend the group's track record of robust growth at scale, profitability and cash generation over more than a decade. Satisfactory, that's how AVI has described its half-year performance. And as a result, the Consumer Goods Group expects a profit bump for the period. Consolidated headline earnings per share are seen rising by as much as 18%. But the group has highlighted that the trading environment was tough. AVI pointed to the ongoing inefficiency of South Africa's ports, which weighed on supply chains, and continued load shedding, which has impacted costs. Reignitt has given investors some insight into its performance. The investment firm says its third quarter net asset value is at 5.7 billion euros. This is a 2.1% rise on the previous quarter and reflects a compound growth rate of 8.5% per annum in euro terms since March 2009. And international investors at last week's World Economic Forum in Davos were surprised at how candid South African government leaders were about the country's problems and impressed by the understanding they displayed on what needs to be done. That's according to Standard Bank Group CEO Sim Tshabalala. He says this is why the delegation was well received. Tshabalala's assessment has been reinforced by a statement from the Finance Ministry. It described the trip as tough but productive. In international news, Bitcoin has fallen to 7-week lows, hovering below $40,000 for the first time since the launch of 11 spot Bitcoin exchange-traded funds earlier in the month. Here's more detail on that price movement in this package report.
Bitcoin has tumbled to 7-week lows around $40,000. It's the lowest level since the launch of 11 exchange-traded funds featuring the cryptocurrency earlier this month. The eCoin's debut on New York exchanges had sparked enthusiasm among fans. Bitcoin gained around 70% ahead of the launch as traders bet the ETFs would help draw in more everyday investors. It's now fallen back by around 20%. And some analysts say the slump was always likely. They note that Bitcoin also tumbled following other big crypto events, such as the IPO for major exchange Coinbase. Other market watchers say Bitcoin just hasn't been able to compete with regular stocks over recent weeks. Money has poured into equities as US markets surge. On Monday, the S&P 500 index hit a fresh record high for a second straight session. Tech stocks have led the gains after Taiwan chip giant TSMC said last week that AI would drive a boom in demand for high-end silicon.